think it was very significant what came out on January 22nd when Li Qiang he ordered more or less his administration to take more forceful measures to boost the market sentiment. So I think this they are serious now about restoring confidence. And I mean, he's now heading up the Central Financial Commission, and they oversee 400 trillion RMB worth of assets. So for sure, they have the firepower. Doesn't take very much to turn the market.
Yeah, but the markets are not turning. So despite best efforts. I don't know whether they're best efforts. Do you think they're best efforts?
No, but I think it's also important to note what came out of the State Council the same day. They said this is not a short-term program, it's a medium and long-term. So I don't think they want to repeat what they did in 2015. I think they want to be more gradual and more long-term, a gradual shift from fixed income to equities gradually over time.
Gustav, I have to ask you, because you're relatively bullish on China and Chinese equities. You're coming in from Stockholm. Are you sure you don't have Stockholm syndrome when it does come to the China equity environment, that there could potentially be even more downside to come?
Yeah, well, I think if you turn around and you look, from a company perspective, I mean, yes, the index MSCI China is now pretty much on 20-year lows, where it's trading at 8 times earnings or something. We've been down here a few times over the years, but it's bounced back every time, except 2011, we were down at 7.5 or something. But if you instead look at from a company perspective, I mean, today you can buy Alibaba below its IPO price 10 years ago, and the company is probably 10 times bigger. It's trading at 8 times earnings. I mean, you can make a long list of amazing bargains just because everyone in the world is so bearish on China and China's economy.
Of course, but isn't the problem that it's not just everyone in the world that's bearish? Because yes, we've lost all that foreign LO money, 100%. But people domestically aren't even buying this story. So how do you change that? Because it isn't just sentiment, and you can inject all the liquidity in there. They're doing this ad nauseum. They're potentially flagging even more coming through from the authorities. But if you don't have the domestic people believing in their own companies, doesn't that send a signal to everyone else? Why should I believe in them even though they're cheap?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. And I think that's why... there's another not explicitly stated reason for doing this intervention, and that is through wealth effect, boost the consumer sentiment. So that's why I think they take this so seriously, to really take what is required to turn the equity market around. I mean, I don't think Li Qiang would say this if he's not meaning to deliver on it. So it'll take some time, but I think markets will run.
So two questions rolled in one, because we don't have that much time, Gustav. But are you buying at these levels? It seems like you are. And if so, what are you telling your LPs? What are you telling your investors? Because, this is all about relative grading, right? And a lot of them would be like, but are you willing to take the downside if there is more to come from this point?
I do. I mean, I think, again, we have on an index level, we've only been this low a few times in the past 20 years. So I think that the downside is quite limited and the upside is huge. So absolutely, I think it's only a matter of time. Of course, the sentiment is so extremely negative that it'll take some time. But, I think first the value investors will come, the bargain hunters will come. Aided by the government. I think it's just a matter of time until we have a serious turnaround. But now, for now, I mean, investors have been going into Japan and India, but eventually. Yeah.